When you see the whole world shaking and you feel your heart is breaking, take my hand, no hesitating. Oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. When you're just so tired of trying, all alone you feel like hiding. Together we'll keep fighting. Oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. There's no stopping us. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Don't stop now. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna mountains too high we can climb it. Feel this, we're taking the moment. There's no stopping us. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Can you see the sun is shining like a new hope? Feel it rising, coming over the horizon. Oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. There's no stopping us. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Don't stop now. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna mountains too high we can climb it. Feel this, we're taking the moment. There's no stopping us. Hold on, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. Don't you give up, don't you give up on me. Don't you give up, don't you give up now. There's no stopping.
And I'm hoping that you are all able to hear me. I actually pre-recorded this about a half hour ago. I played it back a little bit. I heard nothing. I heard nothing. So let me see. I'm looking at Facebook to see if it's picked. Okay, I think we're good. All right. So, good evening. I'm live right now. I tell people it was at 7. I was going to record it earlier, and then I had issues. I thought it was recording my voice, and it was not. So I'm doing it over again. So it's live. It's before 7 p.m., but it's going to replay, and then you could still ask questions if you would like. Send comments. Be nice, and let me know what's going on. Okay. Let me just make sure I'm still. Okay, that's me waiting. All right. Okay. So, with that in mind, I'm Chris Garguilo. This is my weekly podcast, video podcast of Real Estate with Mr. G. I actually upload them to Spotify, and you could watch it, and you could listen to it, or you could also watch it. Because I think my podcast is more interactive, or it's more. I mean, it's a lot of me talking, right? But it's more visual too, because I think, fun stuff. All right. So I also have a blog, Real Estate with Mr. G.blog. We have the minimum of 5 new articles per week and about 3 videos per week. And I try to do my best to keep you on top of the real estate industry. All right. So that's what I do. I am an associate broker for Realty Connect LLC, but I'm also a licensed referral specialist. And what does that mean? I could help you find a home anywhere within the United States of America or list a home anywhere in the United States of America. You could contact me. I can consult you and help you along the way, but who will actually either show you homes or list your home will be a top agent in that locale. All right. So let's say you are going to list a home in Virginia Beach, but you're Navy and you're going out to San Diego and you need to buy a home there. I could help you do that. Okay. And you will be put together with 3 top agents in that area who contact you, tell them about themselves, and then you decide which one you feel more comfortable with. Right. And there's no additional fee for this. Okay, because I'm still consulting you. You're getting like 2 agents for one. There's no additional charge. If you're a buyer, there's no fee because the commission is coming from the seller. And if you're a seller, let's say you're listing it at 6%, it's not going to be 6.5% or 7%, because my fee will come out of that commission that's stated. So there's no additional expenses by using the service. So I think it's a really nice thing, and I think it's helpful with what's coming up now in August with commissions. We already see many agents leaving the industry because it's going to be very different. And there will be some agents, it's going to be the same. It's always been that way. It's a game changer. It doesn't mean you're not going to be successful. Is that you have to deal differently with the industry. You're going to have to negotiate more with your buyers on what they will pay you. Because I bet you dollars to donuts, a lot of sellers are going to say, I'll pay the listing agent for what they did, but I'm not going to pay the buyer's agent for their representation. They're working for their best needs, right? They're acting as a fiduciary agent, right? So why am I paying that as a seller? So it's going to be a big game changer. And buyers might say, well, this house is $500,000. You show me 2 houses, I'm going to pay you $15,000, 3%. Show me 2 houses. I'll pay you $5,000, but I'm not going to pay you $15,000. So it's going to be a lot more negotiation. Like I said, I see agents on social media saying, it's nothing. It's always been that way. No, this is going to be different. Doesn't mean, again, that you can ride the storm. You can still be very, 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 very successful. But it's a different ball game. So let me show you like a nice little video that kind of summarizes what I do with Realty Connect LLC. Okay, so that puts it in a nutshell on what I do. I'm working more in a marketing position right now, but I have over 30 years experience in the real estate industry. I still have to take continuing education. I'm also a licensed real estate instructor, so I know a lot about the industry. All right, so let's ask Carlos. He sent in his topic question, what he would like to discuss in today's episode. So let's bring in Carlos.
Good day, Mr. G. I am currently renting but would like to know the benefits of purchasing a home. I also know there may be also some downfalls. With your wide range expertise and knowledge, could you please explain the pluses and negatives on this topic? Any information would be most appreciated. I watch your video podcasts every week with my family and friends, and we all enjoy them very much. Keep it going strong.
Now, with the article that was on my blog this week, it's actually called "The Perks of Buying Over Renting." It's going to list most of the positive things, and I want to be fair to you, my audience. There are some pluses of renting as well, and you really have to look at for yourself. It's all a personal situation. It's a case by case situation. You have to decide what works best for you. Um, so that's the best way. And we're going to look at an infographic at the end that will list both the pros and cons of real estate. It's actually a pretty good infographic. But let's go over this first. So the perks of buying over renting. So if you think about buying a home with today's mortgage rates going up, I think last week they went down just a little bit, but mortgage rates might seem a bit intimidating. And here are two solid reasons why, if you're ready and able, it could be a smart move to get your own place. So, number one, home values typically go up over time. And I'm going to go right down to the graph because this very easily demonstrates that. Price appreciation over the last 60 years, average sale prices of houses sold in the United States. All right. So going back to 1960, you see it is very low. You most likely could get a family home for under 50,000. But you see throughout the years, and let me move this down a little so you can see the years. Okay. You see an increase, a steady increase. All right. You see a little dip here. It goes back up again. And then you see another dip, like between 205 and 210. And that's when we had the burst of the real estate bubble. And there were a lot of corrections made on how mortgages are written. So once we got over that, you see basically a steady increase up to 2023. All right. So in most situations, in most years, you have price appreciation for home values. And as you buy a home and you are paying down your balance on your mortgage, and let's make it simple. Let's say you bought a home for $100,000. You put down $30,000, you finance $70,000, all right? And let's say you did that in 2000. But as the years go by, right, you're paying down your mortgage, all right? That mortgage balance is going down. So let's say it's 50,000. But your house went from 100,000 to 200,000. So now you have $150,000 in equity. So if you end up selling that home, you're making a profit of $150,000. That's a gross profit. That's not including your commissions and taxes and everything. That's your gross profit. All right, and that's a pretty good thing. Under 50,000, right? But also, if you don't sell the home and you want to do some renovations, you could borrow against that equity line, and that would be a home equity loan. All right. So you're self value, okay, your self worth is going up with the home prices, and if need be, um, you could borrow against it, and then once you want to sell, you make a nice fat profit on it. So that's one of the big pluses of uh, owning a home. And then number two, rents keep rising in the long run. And just to make it go quickly, I'm going to show you this graph too, starting from 1960, and it looks like uh, along with home prices, basically you have a constant increase in rental prices. You have a little dip over here between 1995 and 2005, okay? But then it picks up again steadily. So rent prices are going up. And they are pretty high right now. So how do you escape the cycle of rising rents? Buying home with a fixed rate mortgage helps you stabilize your housing costs and say goodbye to those annoying rent increases. Your housing payments are like an investment, and you've got a decision to make. Do you want to invest in yourself or keep paying your landlord? So when you're buying your home, you're investing in your own future. And even when renting is cheaper, that money you pay every month is gone for good, right? There's no value to the money, just pay it out. You're not building up home equity. And what this article doesn't talk about is you're not having a tax deduction on your taxes. You are able to, up to this point, deduct mortgage interest against your income, and that's very, very helpful, especially at the very beginning of the loan, because the majority of that payment of your loan is an interest payment. It's not really going to principal. So at the very beginning of the loan, you're paying lots and lots of interest. So bottom line, if you're tired of rent going up and want to explore the many benefits of home ownership, let's explore your options. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you a nice little video that sort of summarizes what we just discussed. Okay, so hopefully that nicely summarizes what we just talked about. It puts it in a nutshell. Now, what I want to do is I want to show this infographic. And we're going to look on both sides of it. So when you purchase, you have long-term costs. Buying a home often involves a mortgage down payment and property taxes, maintenance, and repairs over the time. Homeowners have a potential to build equity. Renting typically involves a fixed monthly payment without the additional expenses of property taxes and maintenance, but without security growth. All right. So your insurance, your house insurance, and your taxes are included in your monthly payment. Most loans are set up that way. So this way you don't fall behind in your taxes, your property taxes, and your home insurance. That stays current. But what you might have to pay for, let's say all of a sudden the HVAC system goes down, you're not getting any heat or air conditioning. You can't go to the landlord and say, hey, you got to fix that. No, that's your job. All right. So you're going to have that cost of making those repairs. So then under flexibility, it talks about that you have the ability, just to move. All right. If you don't think you're going to be in one locale for a long time, you just relocate. If you relocate frequently for personal reasons, it might be better to rent. So, for instance, I always give the example of the military. If they are sent to another town, another state, and they know they're just going to be there 3 years, they may consider renting. But if you find out that your monthly rental payment will be more than the mortgage payment on an average house in the area, you might say, hey, I'd rather buy. And then in 3 years, if you leave that area, you could either sell it or rent it out and it becomes an income-producing property. So 3 is a financial investment. Buying a home is a significant financial investment that can yield returns as property values rise. However, it also poses a risk if property values decreases, which is rare. Okay? Renters avoid these risks and investment opportunities as they do not gain from property appreciation. But again, in most situations, the value of the property will go up. Stability. Number 4, home ownership provides a stable living environment as monthly payments are generally fixed if owners choose a fixed rate mortgage. Renting may subject individuals to rent increases or eviction at the end of a lease term. The owner of that house does not have to renew your lease. They might have a relative that needs a place to live and they give it to them. So it's very uncertain. So maintenance responsibility, we already talked about. Homeowners are responsible for maintenance, repairs, and renovations, which can be costly and time-consuming. Renters are usually not responsible for maintenance and repairs beyond basic upkeep, as these are typically handled by the landlord. All right? But under customization, and just to really summarize that, if you're renting, you can't update your kitchen, your bathroom, right? If you decide that you want to rip up the rug and put down hardwood floors, you can't do that on your own. You would have to ask for permission. You may or may not get it, but you can't just all of a sudden decide, hey, I want to upgrade my kitchen. And even if the landlord says, yeah, it's okay, and you do such a great job, and they say, hey, you know what? This apartment is worth a lot more money right now. So they may increase it. They might get rid of you, and you put all this money in, and you're not reaping the benefits of it. So there's a lot of things to consider. And again, it's a case-by-case scenario. You really have to look at your situation and what works best for you. It's a little soul-searching that you have to look into, but that's what you have to do. Okay? So remember, you could go to my blog, and you could download for free the Buyer's Guide, Things to Consider When Buying a Home, the Spring 2024 edition. You could download that for free. Or you could also download, if you're selling, things to consider when selling your house. Again, it's the spring edition, and these probably will be, well, not probably, they will be updated for summer. So that'll usually be around June. And I'll have the June 2024 edition of Buying and Selling Your Home. And you read this, but you still come to me for advice and for me to help find you an agent. Okay? That's what I do. All right. Now I'm hearing from my producer Isabel that we have a special guest in the audience. Is that true?
Mr. G, great news. We have a celebrity in the audience. Originally from St. Petersburg, Russia, this lady practiced acrobatics in her studio apartment. Not making much money with her act there, she migrated to America where she performed on the Joe Franklin and Ed Sullivan shows. It is said she was the inspiration for Curly from the Three Stooges and made public service announcements on television warning parents on the dangers of feeding their children too much sugar. Ladies and gentlemen, Zelda Rabinowitz.
Oh, I could see where she was a big influence to Curly in the Three Stooges. The way she goes around, that dance he used to do on the floor. Um, so that was good. I'm glad you stopped by. Thank you very much, Miss Rabinowitz, for stopping by. That was a very good act. All right, so that's it for our show. It's about 6:15. I got this done under 30 minutes, which I really like. I like to keep them under 30 minutes to keep your attention. Um, and I'm going to keep it right now, at least for the spring and summer, for Mondays at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And we'll see what type of response we get. But nonetheless, I repeat these broadcasts the following Saturday at 10 a.m. All right? So that's it for now. And we'll see you next Monday. And remember, as always, the greatest power we have is love, and the greatest gift to each other. Thank you very much for watching.